Hi, welcome to this episode of Ceci Knits the World, my podcast, where I take you on adventures with me as I travel the country and the world, seeing sights, tasting local bites, local flavor, and of course, always managing to find a yarn shop along the way. For this episode, my yarn husband and I went off to the south of France to celebrate a friend's birthday party. And as I typically do whenever I get a chance to go to Europe, I always try to add another stop or another place to see or another thing to do to maximize our time there. So this is our second time going to this part of France, which is Biarritz, or near Biarritz. And what we learned the last time we went was that it's so much fun to fly into San Sebastian, Spain, and drive to Biarritz. It's about a 30-minute drive, and then or 45 minutes to where my friend has his summer home. So we planned a nice weekend away, longer than a weekend away, a getaway. So some highlights for this video, of course, is our time in San Sebastian as well as in Biarritz. But if you watched my video from earlier this summer where I was in London and I caught up with my friend Ben, who I've been friends with now for about 20 years. And during our time together, of course I had my knitting with me, and Ben proved to me that he knew how to knit. I doubted his skills and I was quite impressed. And when we were together this summer, he was a little upset that he didn't get to see my husband and was like, oh, I would love to see Jerome. I said, you know, we'll be back later this summer, but we're probably gonna just go straight to south of France. And he goes, oh, we have a vacation, his wife and kids, and they're going to the south of France. And I'm like, well, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to Cape Breton. I'm going to Cape Breton. When are you gonna be there? And it turns out that our trips literally overlapped. And not only that, we were less than a 10-minute drive from each other. So had I not seen him this summer, I would never have known that, and I would have missed him completely because he's not a big social media poster like I am. So we had plans to see each other, and because I knew of his love for knitting, I brought along some extra yarn and needles to get him, his wife, and kids knitting. So that was definitely a highlight. What I want to do differently for this video is spend a little less time telling you about the adventure and actually show you. So I'm gonna really, I took a lot of pictures and a lot of videos, and I'm trying different things as I figure out, you know, my angle for Ceci Knits the World, and really want to show you more. But I'm still stuck in that, what do I talk about? What do I share on Instagram? And then what do I save for my podcast? I'm not really good at saving for the podcast. I have to get better at finding the right mix. So this time around, I think I took a lot of footage. And that being said, I want to show you and take you on the adventures and show you the fun that we had. The other thing, of course, we found 3 yarn shops. One, my husband had Googled and found when we landed in San Sebastian, a yarn shop. So we got there right before they left for lunch, which is a big chunk of the afternoon. So if we would have missed them, that wouldn't have been fun. And then when we went to meet our friends, Ben and Claire, in Cape Breton, we parked the car, we walk a block, and we literally walk past a yarn shop. I love to say that I have excellent yarndar. I don't know if anybody else uses that word, but it's a word that I made up. It's not that clever, but I made it up a few years ago when my friend Michelle and I went to Vienna and Salzburg for the Sound of Music, and Munich. And while I had scoped out yarn stores in each place, every place we were, I would stumble upon another yarn shop that I did not even know was there. I'm like, oh, look, there's a yarn shop. Oh, look, there's a yarn shop. So I named it Yarndar, the ability to find yarn even when you're not looking for it. So my Yarndar paid off, and so we found another yarn shop. And then when we returned back to San Sebastian, there was a shop that we tried to visit last time we were there, but they were closed, and so we missed going in. And so this time we knew we wanted to get there. So on this trip, we visited San Sebastian twice, once with Ben and Claire, and then we came back and stayed for a couple of days. We were in Cape Breton, and we also visited Biarritz. And then on the way leaving from Cape Breton to San Sebastian, my friend who has a summer home there said, oh, you should visit this cute little port town called Saint-Jean-de-Luz. Saint-Jean de la Luc. My French is not that good, so I'm probably not doing the name justice, but Saint-Jean de la Luc is what I think it should sound like, but it probably doesn't. Which is a cute port town. We had lunch there, we walked around, went to the cathedral, stumbled upon a little store, bought a pot, a little teapot. I love a teapot. What I typically do when I travel is I really try to either get a teapot, which is why I have a collection, or special tea, which is another thing that I have a collection of, or a cute teacup or a mug or something. Winning is if I can get any of two of the three. Jackpot is tea, a cup, and a teapot, which I typically don't do that often. It has to be really special for me to get all three, but I'm really happy when I can at least get one. So it's another thing that I like to do when I'm away. So adventures, photos, and videos, and really just want to take you on this experience with me to Saint Sebastian, Biarritz, Cape Breton, and Saint-Jean de la Luc as Ceci Knits the World in the south of France. So hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please subscribe here on YouTube to Ceci Knits the World, or follow me on Instagram at Creative Ceci, where I share a little bit more of my travels, my yarn adventures, my fun, and generally a little bit of my life, a slice into the world of me. So enjoy, and thanks for watching.